Concord, more like cut the cord. Am I right, guys?
More like I don't exist anymore. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah. But you know what's even crazier than Concord going away forever? I forgot. But for Secret Level, coming out in December on Amazon Prime, there is going to be an episode about Concord.
I bet you that's going to have a less view count than any other episode.
I bet you that season's going to be one episode shorter.
You really feel like they would cancel? I feel like they already did the episode.
Oh, no, it's ready.
Like they would cut it.
It's ready. Then they're probably still working on it. Yeah, how are you going to have an episode to celebrate video games for a video game that doesn't exist anymore?
It just goes to show you that it's all about money, and it's always been about the money.
Yeah.
There's no heart in it.
No, I mean, I'm sure the show will still be cool. Like, those are good. That's a good team they got working on that show. But yeah, they're like, oh, let's get Kratos in here. And Sony's probably like, hey, you know what would be even better? You get Kratos and Concord. Get John Concord in there, because this game's going to blow up when it releases. Oh, it blew up, all right. Yeah, so crazy that 8 years in the making, $100 million spent, and it barely lasted 11 days. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this aside from games that are scams on Steam. Like, this is wild.
What was the Will Smith game? Didn't that last a little longer than this?
Oh, the Chinese game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like days left or something? And it's funny, like I was thinking about Battleborn, or Stillborn, as some people like to call it. Right, because that game fucking died too. I always remember that game just died. But then I looked it up. Okay, like how long did this last? Years. Multiple years until they shut the server down. And this thing couldn't even last a 3-day weekend.
I understand one thing about the game not working out, but I really don't understand their motive for wanting to like hit the eject button so early. You think with a game like that, there would be a premise to leave it like, for a minimum of like 6 months or something like that.
Well, I would agree with you, but if you looked at the numbers on Steam alone, there was barely 700, like I think the peak was 900 people of all time. It was averaging like 400 or 500 people a day playing that thing. On Twitch, there was barely 1,000K watchers, only a handful of streamers playing it. I was just talking to Akil about it last night, and he said one of his buddies, just by playing over the weekend before they shut the servers down, he was in the top 15% of players. He's like, I was just playing, I was just having fun. And it's like, yeah, there's just so few people playing that game that, yeah, is it even worth it to try to keep the servers alive? And also, I guess, like, on the official Twitter account, when they talked about, like, oh, we're shutting the servers down for an update, and then, like, an hour later, they announced they're shutting the game down. I think the tweet before that one was, like, 2-3 weeks ago. So, like, they haven't even been trying to, like, promote this game. It's wild.
Fuck, you really want to know, like, where the ball drops for all that money that's wasted right there. I don't know. To me, I feel like it's like the worst case of like a No Man's Sky like situation, like where in this case, like, yeah, we weren't like given the product we were really promised. Like, it didn't really turn out to be as successful as they wanted it to be. Of course, I didn't play it myself. I just like from all the clips and all the streams that I've seen of people playing it, it's an amalgamation of all the worst aspects of like the squad type game, like with like heroes,
the hero shooters.
The playtesting on that, like, this is another reason why QA and playtesting are like super important. You get so many people that are into and playing these things, like when there are betas and alphas and stuff like that that get released, like, I feel like all of that really does matter. I feel like there was a big difference. Like, my biggest takeaway for this is probably going to be like Neo and Destiny, because both Neo 1 and Destiny both had alphas and betas. We got to see like through play tests and server capacity tests and things like that, like like basically what the integral part of the game is going to be like, and if there was something wrong with it, that was early enough feedback for them to go and be like, okay, we can change the game design to this. It's not too late.
I wouldn't say the gameplay was what killed it. It's literally just everything else. I don't remember when they announced this game, like years ago, but yeah, 3 months ago was the official release trailer. And it was like this huge CG thing. We're seeing all these wacky Guardian characters at home. And then it ends up being a hero shooter. All the designs are just very bland and boring. Like Charlie, Voice Critical, I think he said it best. Like, this looks like a video game that's meant to be played in a movie.
Yeah, I see it.
Maybe some of the gameplay, because like watching it, it just kind of looked average. I guess like the tracers and like versus Reinhardt situations, the dynamic there, it's like, yeah, you really need to shoot just to kill this tank. And I don't know, it just didn't look appealing. The studio was made just for this game, and this will probably be the last game. So that's really unfortunate. But hey, at least it was $40. So that was probably the highlight of this game. And also they're going to be doing refunds, pretty much a tax write-off.
Was that on both PlayStation and Steam?
It's going to be both PlayStation and Steam. And then they said for physical copies, you're just going to have to go back to the retailer and see if you can return it or not.
Ooh.
Wow. So much for that. Next time, put more of your efforts into Bloodborne 2 instead of Concord, and this maybe wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Free my boy Bloodborne. He's stuck in 30 frames per second jail.
Not for long, though. Have you guys been seeing the updates?
Oh, yeah.
I did today. We're about 2 weeks away at this point.
There's like a PS4 emulator, I guess, for PC, and people have been trying to get Bloodborne working on there, and it's been looking good.
We've been making big progress.
The clip I saw on Twitter today was boss fight. He was fighting Orphan of Kos.
Mm-hmm.
And it was looking really good. Like, there are no frame drops or anything like that. Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I don't know what the specs are. I'm gonna hope that once it's finally ready, I can at least run it to some capacity. I would love to see what kind of like mods they can try to do with a PS4 ROM. I'm curious and also excited on like how that's gonna work and if it's gonna work well with everything that they're doing so far. Like, because obviously the whole point of trying to put it on the PC was so that we can finally like, get this far with it and mod it and like do other stuff. I don't know if you've really like kept up with like the mod community for like the Soulsborne series, but like almost every Soulsborne game has its own like mod DLC. Dark Souls 3 has like its own like mod DLC called Archthrones, and it's like a whole fucking thing. Like, they revamped the game, they had a whole bunch of bosses, they had a whole bunch of weapons, take other bosses, modify them, or like change the change like the model for them and stuff like that. And it's like, it's a lot of time and energy that they put into it. New levels, new everything, basically, right? Like, Elden Ring has something called the Convergence mod. I don't know if you've seen that on Twitter, but like it's basically like all the mods that you would see, or like people are like flying through the air and shit, and like doing all of like these like Super Saiyan like arts, and like the flying arts, or the like running on like the sword and stuff like that, or like using like the martial arts before Elden Ring actually added martial arts to the DLC. The community for it is pretty damn big. My expectation for this is also pretty damn big. Like, I'm just gonna assume that once this is up and running, like, we are really gonna get a lot of people that are gonna be like in the nitty gritty trying to make this work with whatever mods they want to add to it.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna be seeing a bunch of Dark Souls, Sekiro, Elden Ring ass bosses, since like all the FromSoft games basically can all work with each other very easily. And I do know, like, for the PSP version of Tekken 6, right? I forget if I mentioned it on the podcast, but they're modding that game still to the point where they're adding Tekken 8 features on there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like the video I saw was Jin just doing his combos, hit the heat, and then started doing his heat attack and all that. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I think the thing with Bloodborne is why we're not getting it too could be because of some weird legal things with Sony and Japan Studio, because they also technically were part of the development for making it. Yeah, so I don't know. But, my question has always been, well, does From Software, even if they get asked to, would they even want to do a Bloodborne 2?
Does Miyazaki want a Bloodborne 2?
I really want the answers to be yes.
Yeah, we all want it to be yeah. There is potential to make something else off the Bloodborne series. I've always said I would have loved the Lady Maria Gurman, the first Hunter side story. Something to do with the old Hunters. It would be pretty nice. It seems like FromSoft isn't too keen on like direct sequels. Like Dark Souls 3 is technically a sequel to Dark Souls 1, but like in weird ways. It's not directly. Dark Souls 2 isn't even a fucking sequel to nothing. It's its own thing,
right?
So if there's like, we had like a Bloodborne thing where it's kind of its own thing, that'd be pretty nice. But everybody wants a sequel. I want a sequel. I feel like I'd take a prequel.
Yeah, I would go prequel to like the beginning of the Nightmare.
That was the DLC.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, shit, never mind. Yeah, I never played it, so I didn't even know that was.
But you know what? I would say, considering that those two really good questions you asked have probably never been asked to FromSoft. I'm not. That's definitely been asked to them, but who knows what kind of answers they've been giving us. Obviously, if they don't already have them in the works. My point was, with this happening, Bloodborne moving to PC, we are going to get a chance, hopefully, for the mod community to make their own Bloodborne 2. They'll make their own rendition of what they could add into the game as, like I said, as a DLC. It'll just be something different or something more. And they do it all the time, man. It's fucking great. I really got to give it up to those guys who dedicate a lot of time and energy and basically value and cost, like, a lot to make sure that they can do something that we can all enjoy. That's really rad. And they do it for free. That's awesome. I hope that, like I said, even if we don't see any news about Bloodborne 2 for a long time, like that whatever the community for Bloodborne will end up making, now that we're moving on to PC finally, is going to end up doing is it's going to be worthwhile for sure. I'm just going to keep my close eye on that.
If they're not making what is it, Blue Point? No. Yeah, if Blue Point's not going to make the remake, then, or not the remake, if they're not making Bloodborne 2, then no one is, I guess.
Yeah, I've pretty much given up. Well, I guess that was the meme, huh? Where it's like, don't fucking talk to me about Bloodborne since there's no Bloodborne. What was it? Articles just saying, here's news about Bloodborne on PC, and it's just complete garbage. I'm like, don't talk to me about that. I don't want to see none of that unless there's progress.
Bloodborne's finally on PC. What? You read the article and it's talking about a mod in Elden Ring. Like, okay.
Yeah, because of that kind of stuff, I'm kind of, my hype has died. Bloodborne is a great game on its own. Everything that's not like in the comic books or in like light novels, it's just sort of headcanon. If you want to dive deeper, go read some books.
Yep.
Go touch some grass and read some books. But it's cool that they're modding it. Like 60 frames per second has been a project going on since like the newer consoles were coming out.
Bloodborne 2 would be pretty cool, but you know what I really want now? I want the Lookism fighting game, dude. Can we get something like that? Because goddamn, still going through it. I'm about to finish the Xiongliang arc. Goddamn, dude. Like, I could just... There's so many characters in this world. I'm like, it's a full roster already.
I think it would definitely have to be like a 3D fighter.
You think
I
so?
don't think a 2D fighter would do it justice.
You need like environmental
hazards.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just grab a trash can and just deck somebody over the neck.
We need a fight on top of the warehouse where Ollie threw himself off. We need like dramatic finishes. Yeah, we need dramatic finishes, or otherwise this is not a good game. I'm so sorry.
I think as long as it gets that same rough style whenever there's clashes, I'm down. I don't care what kind of game it is.
I need a game as close to the Naruto fighting games.
No.
But without the premise of all of them. Fucking
No,
faggots.
Naruto's the reason all the anime fighters suck.
It's because none of them can compare to what they did for their games.
It's all the same. It's all the same devs making them. It's all Spike Chunsoft making these shitty anime fighters.
Yeah, and all the other ones are so shitty. But my point is that out of all of them that they've done, Naruto was the best one.
It's got the most flair to it, and at least the combos there are decent. That's true.
When I say they, I'm not referring to Spike Chunsoft. I'm referring to those who have the capacity to do that level or better. I'm pretty sure it would be like an indie studio that would take on that kind of project or something like that, maybe. But God willing, like I said, they come up with a good 3D fighter with environmental hazards like that, dramatic finishes. I would bet that like they would probably include like items on the floor. Now, I don't want to say it's more like it reminds me of like School Rumble. You remember School Rumble?
School Rumble?
What are you talking about?
Well, Sakura, you don't remember that game?
No, you're crazy.
School Rumble. Oh, I was right. Rival Schools is what it's called.
Rival Schools?
Rival Schools?
Rival Schools.
That I've heard of.
What are you using the Ask Jeeves translator for the name? What was School Rumble?
School Rumble is an anime. That's what I was getting mixed up.
So while I was looking it up, apparently there actually was a Lookism game on mobile. Ooh. And it was a beat 'em up. Gun and Goo are in it, though. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Oscar, I know you're not caught up yet, but let me just tell you, this arc is going to be your favorite because of two reasons. One, it's your boy Vin. It's his backstory.
Nice.
And two, we're back to form of old Lookism shit. Of like before all the mafia gang shit, back when it was just like God Dog era of shit.
Fucking base Lookism? Hell yeah, dude.
Base.
Dude, it's, oh my god, it's so good.
Things are simple and good again.
The end of Workers, there was like a little break before we hit this flashback arc. and it's with Gun and Goo, and oh my god, dude, that chapter was so good.
Oh yeah, when they were sharing the drink.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's peak right there.
You could play as Crystal in this game. Oh, that's cool. So there's like supers, and you can use it'll do like an animated cutscene. What the hell? Zoe was playable?
What the hell?
Here, I'm gonna share this in the Discord.
Yeah,
it's showing like all the specials, and I was just skipping around, and then I see Jay's special, and it does a Sailor Moon ass transformation for him. That's so good. But also the biggest thing I think with Lookism is it actually feels like we're getting to the final part of the series. Like, you remember like in a Viral Hit, like where it's like it finally feels like everything's coming together and building up. Where I'm getting that feeling now. And that's before like this flashback arc. Like the next arc is pretty big. It's still going, but yeah, I think after that it's just gonna be nonstop momentum.
I love it when I have so much chapters to read up on. Can you at least tell me, did they already have an interaction between Zoe? Did Zoe come back in the manga? In the manhwa?
Nah, no.
Not yet.
I haven't seen the school building.
Oh my god. Alright, I just wanted to know if she's seen like Daniel while he was skinny at this point.
Oh, at this point? No.
No.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, the last time Zoe saw Daniel was the beginning of like the first affiliate, because she was gonna get the free plastic surgery. I forget what happened, but he was able to like to stop her from doing it, and that was like when he was still like streamer fat Daniel.
Yeah, that's right. First affiliate was when they were kidnapping streamers, right?
No, streamers were
blackmailing them.
Streamers, I think, were second affiliate, because the first affiliate's the hospital for plastic surgery. They were offering streamers and TikTokers or whatever like free plastic surgery, and that's when they were getting all the deformed faces. And he was like, "Well, now that you're actually unique, your face is one of a kind."
Is this actually the? I'm
Are you still watching it?
Yeah. Is this the whole all of his Lookism? Because I see some characters I don't recognize.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I don't recognize those characters. The freaking stalker lady is a character. That's crazy.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, from what I understand, this was just a Lookism Android game. Yeah, there's a few I definitely don't recognize in here. Oh yeah, this is back when Jay Kim was an asshole. And
yeah.
You know, it's funny, I kind of never noticed the writing was kind of bad in this series. Like, for example, I'm like reading it now, and I just got to the part where like Daniel and his mom are going back for the holidays.
Oh, huh.
So he's going to see like his uncle and his cousins and stuff like that. Tell me why, when they're referring to Daniel and his mom, they don't say his mom's name. Like his own blood relatives, they don't say, like they don't say their sister's name. They say Daniel's mom.
That's because they're not related to her.
How are they not related?
That's his dad's family. That's not her family, isn't it? Or am I misremembering?
No, I don't know. I think that they're all blood related, but I don't. Either she's related to the guys, or she's related to the wives. But I know that I think she's a blood relative of one of them. But I guess my point, that was my point. But I guess that wasn't something that was obvious to me. Again, I don't really feel like that makes any sense either.
No, I think that was the whole point, was that she was sort of the outcast, because she's just the wife of the father that's no longer there, kind of thing. But she still wants Daniel to be part of the family. And so that's why like they kind of shun her and like force her to do all like the work and stuff.
Oh man, yeah, this series has really gotten into it. It's been a lot.
I will say though, the recent chapters that I was reading, they need to hire some new translators. Freaking seeing typos and like using the wrong words and stuff half the time. Like every few chapters, I always notice at least a few things are wrong. But that's not stopping me from enjoying it. It's still freaking fantastic. There's so much lore unlocked in this flashback arc. It's crazy.
From what you shared earlier, remember you shared and I wanted to know, was that from Lookism, or where'd you see that from?
No, so I was on I've been on the wikis, and I've been like on the Reddits just looking up like last time we talked, like there's the whole universe for Lookism, and like they're all like loosely connected to each other. And then on one of the wikis, I found like a whole list of connections. Like someone from Viral Hit shows up in Manager Kim, and then there's like specific like timeline things mentioned in some of these spin-offs. And then I saw it said, "Oh, Hoban Yu showed up in one of these webtoons," and I said, "What?" I looked it up, and it is a Juvenile Offender. It's part of the Lookism universe, I guess.
PTJ?
Yeah, it's from the PTJ company. I remember I had this on my list for a while because I saw it was from, the same company or whatever. But yeah, it's not until like chapter 55 we meet the main character's teacher who taught him how to fight, and sure enough, it's Hoban. So I was like, oh damn, that's pretty crazy. Now the question is if this series is good or not. We'll see whenever I get to that.
Or since it's an extended universe, when is that universe going to collide with the main universe? Like, when are we going to see that main character come and probably assist Daniel or do something stupid like that?
Yeah, I tell you, man, they love doing that shit. Like, like I've mentioned before, right? The Super String universe. There's a timeline, and we actually do see characters get involved in the plot and stuff, and that's great. And then I started reading a spin-off for Revival Man, and that's pretty cool. It's like the Bruce Lee character of the series, and like seeing his like origin story and stuff. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then just, reading up on it at some like Comic-Con out there in Korea, like they were showing off all this stuff. And that spin-off series is part of a completely separate middle school delinquent universe that's not connected to the main series. And I was like, that's too much. I'm not going to be diving into all that just for this one series.
Yeah. But then again, I think like just like any good lore, like there's definitely going to be some energy and time that you need to invest into really getting the whole scope of it, right? Like if you enjoy it really, then you'll just kind of peruse it at your own leisure. And I think that's, probably what they want. I think a lot of the media that we're getting for most of these series is coming out like in different forms. Like we already have, like animes for Lookism as well as Viral Hit. Like it really wouldn't surprise me. Like once like I know that manhwa kind of already took off, like webtoon already took off. I feel like I guess this is like something we were gonna like segue into later on, but just kind of talk about it now. With JJK ending, My Hero already ended.
Yep.
That's like 2 of the big 3 that are already just like already out of the water for shonen. It'll take time for another series to get popular like they were, in order for them to replace them as a big 3. And in that meantime, I have no doubts that Webtoons is going to kind of fill that void because people have already kind of been dabbling into this for a couple of years. And it's only a matter of time before like we get another uptick, another surge of people who are interested in like shows like God of High School. I'm going to knock on wood here because that did not end well for God of High School. And, Tower, they're still working on the new season of Tower. So that's not ended either. So I think, like I said, we're in a precipice of like we're moving on to, Webtoons a little bit again, where that's going to be popular for a little while, and they'll be working on that. Hopefully, bring in some new shows and some new series. I really want you guys to get into Web fucking Windbreaker, goddammit, because this shit is going to end at some point. They're already almost at the end of the series.
Well, then that means it's time to start it.
I do want to get into it. It's just
fuck you and the goddamn shonen book. Just stop reading it for a month.
No.
Just
That's not what I'm saying. It's like 500 chapters, man. It's a lot.
I know it's a lot. It's because you guys are behind. I've been telling you for 3 years to read it.
Okay, no, let's not go that far.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I really do hope that webtoon, like specifically Korean webtoons, start blowing up more. I know we mentioned like Tower Season 2 isn't doing too hot for the anime, so I hope it ends strong. Like if they really are gonna do like the workshop stuff like I hope, that's gonna be great. That's the only one. Like I know like Viral Hit just happened, so I hope that gets a Season 2 announcement. And it's crazy too. Like Webtoons has a huge fan base, but they don't really go outside of the app, I feel like. When I click on it for Lookism, it says, like, it'll tell you how many views it has. Like, right now, it's at 3 million. 3 million people are subscribed to it. And it has 883 million views. And then, all the chapters are, like, at least 12K likes. So, that, fan base is there. Like, I see the comments. I'll read them every now and then. Yeah, I really hope. Because there's a lot of good ones, man, that we could see. They just gotta stop messing up the animation.
Hopefully they'll wake up to their senses on that one. And it's just more of a preference on, I guess, whatever is trendy out there in, like, Korea, Because they're not really worried about, like, what we want. I feel like that's pretty obvious. They're just kind of catering to, like, whatever kind of animation is kind of cool, for them over there. Okay, so, like, just to kind of segue a little bit, like, from some of the new animation that I've seen for, like, the manhwas that come out, like Season 1 and Season 2 of Tower of God, and like the animation they were doing for God of High School, even like some of the animation that we saw for One Piece, like for example, like Garp's Galaxy move.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Like a lot of that filter and glamour, and like it's more like a gaze type trailblazing type move, like where all of a sudden everything just kind of leaves like this aura or this pattern after, and I've seen a lot of that kind of translate to what they want to do and what they want to show, like visually. It's just kind of like a different appeal that they have right now, and I guess that's okay. Like I said, like we're a audience, but we're not the target audience.
Yeah, I am curious to see what the target audience is, since they're using Japanese studios to make an anime, right? I wonder if they're trying to pull from the Japanese audience and then by proxy us as well, or if they want to go straight to a more Korean audience. But yeah, I definitely agree, man, that the current trend right now is all the flashy particle effects, and I'm so tired of it, man. And I think it's mainly just like all the shonen stuff, right? Like One Piece, Demon Slayer, to an extent JJK has some of that. Again, like every time I see a clip of One Piece on Twitter, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not watching this, because this just does not look good. At least that's just my opinion.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I don't really care how anything is animated. I don't care if it's like on a cinematic movie level, like if they spent $100 million, for example, like Borderlands. I don't care. It just comes down to like how like the plot is, how like the scenes are, if there's too much shit that's cut, or if I feel like there's a lot missing. To me, it's just probably not going to be like, it's not something I'm going to invest my time into, Yeah, JJK is like, I don't know. It's the same thing with My Hero, I feel. Like, honestly, I would watch My Hero again just to, like, see some of the good fights. But then I see, like, a lot of people complain about how, like, they kind of changed the scenes around compared to the manga panels. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember it being, like, really, like, visually appealing, in the way that he draws shit. Like, when he draws, like, the destruction of cities and shit like that
yeah.
in the manga, it's so fucking crisp and clean. And then, like, kind of, again, comparing to those animated panels with the studios just kind of like cutting corners.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the comparison of like Shigaraki's face when he there's like that panel where he does the smile, and then you see it in the anime. It's like, there's not even the same level of it hitting.
Yeah, they add a bunch of unnecessary things.
I'm excited for the One Piece remake, since it's not going to be just tied to a weekly schedule. It's just going to come out. It's going to be self-contained in a sense, so hopefully like everything looks amazing there, and maybe that'll just show people like, yeah, this is what we want now. But it's an interesting time for anime. Oh, while we're talking about One Piece, this is what I want to bring up. Did you guys see we got the new Vrivri cards, however you pronounce it? Like it's the cards that I think it's the One Piece magazine, and it's just information on all the characters. And they'll just drop them in waves.
Yeah.
So you get like their origin and stuff. Like some fun facts, like, oh, what animal, represents this character kind of thing.
How many sets have they released? I think they've done like 2 or 3 of those batches now.
Oh, they've done more than that. I think it's like quarterly or something.
That's fucking rad. Yeah, I remember something like that.
Yeah. So the big one that came out recently was about Queen. Did you guys hear about this yet?
No.
Okay. So in his Vrivri card, his age, where he is, yada, yada, yada. But it also gives us a timeline of his life. Because as we saw in one of the chapter covers, he actually worked with Vegapunk at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just read it off here. It says 39 years ago, he worked in Mads with Vegapunk. And then it says 36 years ago, he has a kid. 33 years ago, he gets an offer to join Kaido's crew. 29 years ago, he leaves Mads. 26 years ago, Mads is bought by the government. And at that same time is when Queen abandons his son and joins Kaido under the name Queen. So that's his new name now. When we look at this, it just so happens to line up perfectly with Frankie's backstory.
Oh, boy.
Frankie is 36 years old right now. And he did get abandoned when he was around 10 years old from his father.
Shut up.
Dude.
So it's more than likely that Queen is Frankie's dad. Queen's already gone from the story, so does it really going to impact at all? Not really, but it's just one of those things that's there now.
Shut up, Danny.
Queen himself wasn't anything special, right? But he modified himself over time.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was a scientist.
Was his fruit an actual Zoan fruit, or did he have a smile fruit? I don't remember.
No, he has a real fruit.
Nothing really that would have like genetically passed down to Frankie. Like if it was like King, on the other hand, like his bloodline or something like that. It's not really.
No, Queen is just a fat fuck.
Fat dinosaur fuck cyborg.
Mm-hmm. So that was the biggest thing that came out of the new set of cards.
I want a One Piece encyclopedia. I like to think when the world ends, like the world will go into like the Mad Max route, and then when we have like the living wordmen, there's just gonna be like a wordman who like knows all about One Piece.
You got the reverse bounties. Man, that's so cool, dude, though. Like, I know all of that was supposed to be an accident. The fact that there's a bounty out for the bounty hunters, it's insane.
Yeah.
That's so wacky. Only Buggy could think of it.
That's a great twist, though. I love it. That's why Bucky's one of the best.
Buggy is going to be the one to get One Piece, man. That's just going to be it, dude.
He will be at the end.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is time to reread. Honestly,
It's always time.
it's time to reread, and this time it's time to take notes.
It's time to pay attention, man.
It's time to pay attention this time, because I can't keep saying reread and then keep doing this. God damn it. Part 9. It's pretty good for a monthly release. It's doing pretty well, I feel.
It's pretty good. I'm in a flashback arc right now. A lot of the concepts so far are pretty wild. I think I said it before. I would love to see it animated just so I can make sense of what's going on. But for the most part, I'm not that confused. Everything seems to be like to do exactly what they're doing, and there's not some gimmick later on. It's just always fun to see them do like, oh no, they've got us. Wait, why aren't you freaking out? Do they have us? You know, that JoJo moment where you think all is lost, and then they fucking bring it back by some little thing. Yeah, I love that shit.
Fuck yeah, you love that shit.
But yeah, the first thing I'll do is probably finish JJK, unfortunately, just because I'm almost there.
Dang, man, I guess I'm not watching it at all.
I got 2 Marvel things to bring up, actually.
Marvel talk. Let's do it.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to bring this up. This was announced back in May. Oh, this is really cool, because I don't think I've seen this in the comics. It's Marvel What If Mark Spector was host to Venom.
Mark Spector.
Mark Spector is Moon Knight.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Dude, that's crazy. Poor Mark, dude. He's got like fucking 2 people talking to him at the same time.
Yeah, his
I
I was just about to say, I was like, because I didn't watch the Disney show, but he was a schizophrenic, or he is a schizophrenic, right?
Because of Moon Knight. Because of the warrior, right?
He has 2 personalities.
Yeah.
In his head for the most part, and the personalities kind of determine what the suit is. Like the one that takes control of like actual Moon Knight and does shit is the classic look, and then when like normal Mark was taken over, at least in the Disney Plus show, he wore like the suit and just the mask. That looked pretty cool. The teaser for the end of season 1 was that there's actually a third personality that the other 2 don't even know about. And it was sort of hinted in one of the episodes, because like there's where do they go? Oh, they go to the afterlife for a little bit, and both Marks can actually interact with each other since he's dead. So there's 3 Marks, and then now Venom's gonna be thrown in the mix. That sounds pretty cool to me.
I imagine the 3 of them, the 4 of them in Mark's head, like around a table playing poker.
That's fucking great. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing stuff like that.
Okay, so this is coming out in October. And just a little tangent, yeah. Have you guys seen the Alien and Avengers crossover comic that's happening right now?
No.
Alien. What'd you say?
Like xenomorph aliens?
Yes.
Do people die?
I don't know. From what I understand, the characters get sucked in to the alien universe, and they have to figure out a way back. The key character is Miles Morales, Spider-Man in question. And the panel I saw was he got attacked by the facehugger, but what was he wearing? The Venom suit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so Venom took over the facehugger and changed the Spider-Man suit up. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that's kind of cool.
I'm usually not a big fan of crossovers because it's just like, you know, in their own respective universes, like they're probably like super powerful, or in this case, you know, they're kind of like different ratings when it comes to certain audiences. Like Alien, of course, is like an R-rated thing. To me, it kind of reminds me of like Mortal Kombat versus the DC universe. No one's just gonna like want to see Superman get like fatality. They're not gonna show that shit. So I wouldn't imagine that like in this universe, if there were more than one hero or anything like that, that they're gonna get like, you know, face huggered and then like sprout like some superhero xenomorph or something like that. You know, it would be something super sick if it did do that. A lot of the times I watch YouTube shorts and I see that they do have like a lot of like variant comics where they do like end up having like really gritty storylines. I know one that they like to do, for example, is like a lot about like the Hulk. I think I remember like a YouTube short where they were talking about like there was like a variant where like the Hulk would like purposefully find ways to make Bruce suffer every time the Hulk came out. Instead of just like transforming normally, he would like do things like make his limbs explode or start with his face or something like that. You know, like do things like super slow that would make him suffer. And then I was like, that's fucking weird. I guess it's also really cool to just know like these kind of variants are also like super popular when they're like they get. I guess you would know the more like technical term than I would, but like when we talk about like how these series just have like all these different kinds of spin-offs and these what ifs, and you know, I like the really gritty, like the gritty tangents, like the real kind of shit like this. This would be pretty dope. Hopefully they do something along those lines.
So it is like the face hugger just went back onto his body and then just like
Yeah, but it's also with like with Venom as well, and like just stuck onto the suit.
that's wild. What's happening? What's gonna happen?
Don't know. I haven't seen what happens after this.
Like it didn't even enter. It's like
It's just on
it
top
turned
of him.
2D. It's insane, dude. I like that. I like that kind of thing.
I think crossovers are cool. One that's funny is there was a Wolverine Witchblade crossover. It was just a one shot, and it's just fun where they both wake up in Vegas and they got married, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and then all these people are after them, and then it's just a big fight at the end, and it's pretty cool.
If they were executed correctly, then sure. I guess like no one would really bat an eye when you do things correctly, right? But like when it's just like, I don't know, when you think of like a really bad crossover, like I would say really bad in the sense that you couldn't think of like a real organic way. Not really organic, I guess, because that in most senses like those universes wouldn't really do meet organically. But I guess in a really like a really good way for them to meet, or like for them to like interact with each other. Like I don't really know how you felt about like One Piece Toriko and Dragon Ball Z, like when they crossed over. I don't know. I would say like to this point, like when I compare every crossover to each other, it was just like it was mediocre. You know, like it was to me, it was just whatever. Like the idea, the concept of like, oh, like we're all going to meet up each other because we're hungry, and then we're all going to fight each other because we want to fight each other. Like,
well, yeah, it's just meant to be fun. That specific crossover, it's like, oh, we're all just friends hanging out, and they're like, we're just doing a tournament.
do you have Netflix still?
I mean, I could, yeah.
Did you see the Kengan Ashra and Baki crossover?
I did not see that fight though. I heard that the Baki characters were underpowered just to compensate for the Kengan Ashura characters.
We probably heard that from the same source. You know, our friend, he was a really avid fan of both series, and I'd say overall he's like dissatisfied with the fact that like, and that, again, that's what I'm talking about. In their own respective universe, you know, like they would easily like decimate like whoever it is that they were going to go up against. You know, like for all these purposes or whatever, you know, they had to like nerf them or make them like weaker than they actually are, when like true fans who wanted to see both series would have expected them to go at least full strength. You know, they can't do it great all the time, and that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, I think the biggest example was the Attack on Titan Avengers crossover comic.
That was a thing?
Yeah, there was so much hype for it because it's like, well, this is like the first manga comic crossover.
Hype.
Yeah,
Hype? Like,
this was the peak of Attack on Titan fandom. Like I think they were still on season 1 when this came out, and it finally came out, and it just fucking sucked.
Oh,
of course it did. Like, what the fuck? How would you even get those two universes to interact with each other, man? Like,
so what happened is it starts with, I think Spider-Man's just swinging around in New York.
I should have smoked before this podcast if I knew it was going this way.
Dude, I'm already picturing it as you say that Spider-Man swinging around. Go ahead, keep going. I already put 2 and 2 together, but keep going.
Yeah, so he's just swinging around New York, and then out of nowhere, the Colossal Titan is there, and then the Avengers show up. The art's cool. It's like late 2000s or early 2000s, late 90s style of art that I still kind of like, where I'm like, yeah, this is decent. Oh, I guess what's her name? Was it Annie or something? The female Titan. Yeah, her Titan's there too. But yeah, it's just the Avengers fighting them, and then that's it. Skimmed it, and I was like, oh, that was it. Okay. Oh, even the Guardians show up. I don't even remember that. Wow. But yeah, none of like Aaron's not there, or any of the other cast for Attack on Titan. It's just the Titans specifically.
Okay. That's fine, I guess. Since it was so early when they released it, or I guess when they were working on it, I imagine it's because they didn't want to reveal too much about, like, what the Titans were, or, like, too much about how their powers worked or whatever. How far was, the Colossal Titan was pretty early in the series, right? Right from the jump. I kind of dropped off really early from Attack on Titan, so I don't really remember much,
You and
honestly.
me both, pal.
Colossal Titans is episode 1.
Okay, yeah, so from the very beginning. So that would make sense to me that they didn't want to reveal too much about how the Titans actually got to be Titans, or, the people inside the Titans or anything like that.
So this was 2014, it looks like, when it came out. So that would have been right around the time of, like around season 1. Or I guess season 2, because like the female Titans there, Armored Titans there. It was like a lot of hype, and then it just, poof, just nothing. Hopefully that won't be the case with the Naruto TMNT crossover that's going to be happening. Because I'm actually kind of hyped for that. That looks fun.
How do you think the premise for that's going to go?
Based off of the promo, it looks like the Ninja Turtles are showing up in Konoha. And this is a pre-Shippuden.
Hell yeah.
So it's going to be young Naruto.
Ooh. Alright, bet. That does sound dope. And they're going to Konoha? That's dope.
But if you want some really good comic crossovers, Oscar, obviously the Batman TMNT storylines, those are so good. The art's amazing, and it's just cool seeing like those two IPs just clash together. Oh, I read the Tarzan Planet of the Apes crossover. That was pretty cool.
There's no shortage of crossovers for sure.
No. Yeah, like there's the Power Rangers with, I think, Godzilla, Power Rangers with Street Fighter. There is the Thundercats He-Man crossover. I haven't read that one yet.
The Power Ranger Street Fighter, was that before or after the collab? Or was that because of the collab?
That was during the collab.
With the game?
Yeah. He-Man, or Masters of the Universe with the DC Universe was pretty cool. Skeletor looks fucking sick. It wasn't the real fight, but it was still pretty hype. Was He-Man was fighting Superman. He-Man whooped Superman's ass because he uses magic for his fights, and Superman's weak to magic.
That's so crazy. Superman is weak to magic.
That means what's his face can beat his butt. The Fate, whatever.
Oh, Dr. Fate.
Speaking, last thing we talk about Injustice. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to bring up. Last thing we talk about DC before we move on is, like, I really hope that they do an Injustice 3 at some point, because that's a good IP. I think actually for that game they have the Mutant Ninja Turtles as a DLC.
Yeah, for Injustice 2, they had Hellboy, they had TMNT.
They had Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I'm sure Injustice 3 is going to happen. I feel like MK1's probably, after Season 2, they might just be done.
There's the Minecraft world. That's pretty much the Library of Alexandria.
Oh, really?
It's called the Uncensored Library. It's filled with articles, journals, and info on censored topics from around the world.
Oh.
Created by the community Reporters Without Borders. So this is legitimate shit they're putting into these walls, and not just like skibbity toilet pee pee poop from a bunch of these books. This is actual informational articles and stuff that exists because fucking politics and shit. A lot of censorship are in different countries and shit. Just them downloading a Minecraft map, that's like the most easiest way to get information across the world. It's insane.
The last Marvel thing I wanted to bring up was there's a new Wolverine comic coming out. It's Wolverine. When he's with the X-Men or everyone else, he can't go berserker barrage on things.
Yeah.
He can't just be slicing people up and stuff. He'll get the one moment. But when it gets to his comic, he can have free reign. And he has a new one coming out. They are doing 2 different versions of the comic. They're doing a regular version and basically a rated R version. Yeah, instead of like the super gruesome moments that'll happen, like all bloody and stuff, they'll just replace it with something else. That just got me thinking, what happened? Like, the comics were like that back in the day. It's called Wolverine Revenge.
Why, you ask?
Yeah, I'm like, why do we have to have like a censored version for this?
I'll tell you, the world has definitely gone in the wrong direction.
I'll tell you where you can find the uncensored version is in... I already forgot the fucking name, dude. The Uncensored Library.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
My brain is rotting in real time.
It's just interesting for them to do that. Because, it's Wolverine.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so even the cover art, it's him in the mouth of a T-Rex because he's back in the Savage Lands.
Is he going to team up with Turok?
Fucking that would be freaking awesome. But yeah, like the two covers, it's like one has the blood and stuff, and the other one's like instead of blood, it's just green slime.
Why isn't it white? Make it funny. Come on.
It's white in China.
Yes.
It's weird because even the censored version, it's still a little bloody, but they just change a couple things. Well, if you're already gonna commit halfway, just take that full step across the line, bro.
That's a lot better, honestly. I love.
It is, right?
God, man, why do they have to do it like that? What the fuck is he reaching for, dude? When he's saying you made the mistake of interrupting my vacation, well, what's he reaching for, dude? That's so stupid. Like, I get running underneath and then just scratching the shit out of that dino, but yeah, after that, just kind of weird.
It's just such a weird choice to make. But you know what? Enough about Marvel and all that. We actually forgot to bring it up on the last episodes, I think. The Sonic trailer dropped. Or excuse me, the Shadow trailer dropped.
Yeah, there you go.
My apologies.
Should be.
The poster's so fucking cool, man. I hope Mufasa fails at the box office and Sonic 3 shines.
Are they coming out at the same time?
Yeah.
Sonic 3 is gonna shine. Don't you worry your pretty little head.
I think my favorite tweets is everyone saying, like, I can't wait to be in the theater, and everyone applaud when the little girl dies.
Oh, yeah. That shit is gonna be a moment we're gonna be waiting for, bro. The theater's gonna clap. Why? I don't know. It's childish, but it might be the same reason why we keep seeing Uncle Ben die. It's been done so many fucking times. Yeah, she's about to get just fucking blasted.
Just think to yourself, as she gets blasted, great power requires great sacrifice.
Wouldn't happen to me though. I said I shouldn't have watched it because I'm already so excited for it, but I fucking love the way Keanu fucking sounds, man. I'm so ready for this. I'm gonna watch it 2 times and probably 3 times.
Yeah, it's all style in this trailer, man. Like, freaking Shadow looks so cool. Freaking Fat Jim Carrey. We're getting it all, man.
He's got the fucking bike, dude.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good, man. I can't wait. Man. Yeah, I shouldn't have watched it because now I'm just going to be thinking about it this whole time. I haven't stopped, man. It's insane. It's insane how good he looks. It's insane how good he sounds. He has the bike. Hopefully we're going to see Maria just get fucking domed. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, so this is coming out, I believe, December 20th, yeah. Yeah, gonna be freaking awesome, dude. And while we get something this great, we're gonna get something a little questionable. And what am I talking about? That's right, the Minecraft trailer dropped.
Oh, man.
And this is, it's weird.
You know what the highlight is gonna be, unironically? I'm gonna call it right now. Jason Momoa voted for best comedic actor because he just looks so fucking ridiculous in this fucking trailer, dude.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Oh my god, man! Like, if that's not gonna make me laugh, make me watch it, I don't think Jack Black will save this, man. I gotta be honest. This is gonna look terrible. Of course, I'm gonna watch it, but yeah, Jack Black, nah.
I don't really think that him being Steve was probably the right move. I think it's fun, but I think that his role probably could have pivoted towards something else.
Yeah, it's just weird seeing Jack Black all of a sudden be in all these video game movies.
Well, you know why? It's because he knows he can do a better job of doing this than when he was trying to do Jablinski games.
Oh man!
Oh
that's
my god! Every single time he's like,
dude.
I'm gonna upload a video. We're gonna do this, and he would. Then the date comes, and he's like, I didn't do it. I'm sorry,
dude. You just said the YouTube channel, man. Oh my god!
It's Jablin Jables.
Dude, for real, man.
Oh man!
If he took off with that channel, then he wouldn't be doing any of this.
Well, you know why he made the channel, though.
Yeah, for his kids. Yeah, for his 2 sons.
Yeah, he was just hanging out with his kids, and like, true, that did get him into the gaming side of things, and like, yeah, him as Bowser, I thought, yeah, that's a great fit. If you need a celebrity voice, and then he's in Borderlands, and it's like, okay, sure, I guess that's cool. Like, he's just Claptrap. That works, I guess. But yeah, just him being just normal Jack Black with his normal beard playing Steve. Yeah, it's just weird. And I saw a comment saying, it was like, Tenacious D died for this, essentially.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, the comments for this trailer are nuts, bro. The second top trailer is, this is going in the suicide note.
Oh,
Oh, man.
shit, man.
I would rather have them be in a weird video game world than it trying to look hyper realistic and everything still be blocky at the same time. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's all weird.
I kind of don't like that he kept the beard for it.
Like, that Jack Black beard, yeah, that's cool for Jack Black.
Yep. Steve doesn't have a beard.
But I guess he's like, he's supposed to be like, oh, I've been in the Minecraft world for years, kind of thing.
At this point, he's more of a like a sage or a guru.
I can totally imagine it in the way he says it too.
Mm-hmm.
I've been stuck in the mines for years.
Yeah. He's gonna be like John C. Reilly's character in Kong Skull Island.
This time, beauty killed the beast.
I really wish in a parallel universe, if they would have made this movie in any direction, they should have made it like Will Ferrell's Land of the Lost.
Yeah.
That movie was fucking great. I think a Minecraft variant of that movie would have would done well here. They're doing something, traveling through some place, end up going back in time to, not end up going back in time, end up traveling into the inner part of the world, or whatever, and that's how they get to Minecraft. What if they ended up going to some sort of fucking pioneer town that had some abandoned shaft, and they're just oh, we're gonna go explore the shaft, blah blah blah, and then the whole fucking thing caves in or whatever, and then they end up in the Minecraft, they dig a little too deep and they end up going behind a wall, and then all of a sudden they see Minecraft, and that's how they get in there.
The Mario movie came out and proved that, yeah, a CG movie on a video game with notable actors in it can do really well. Sure, we could do that, but let's just have them walk around in this weird Minecraft world. And I guess the benefit is we do get to see Jason Momoa dressed like that, so that's pretty cool too.
It's fucking awesome.
The pink leather jacket with the tassels, it's so good.
Is he supposed to be an actual I know that a lot of the skins are real characters, so is he supposed to be a character from Minecraft?
No, I think Jack Black is the only actual character. This feels like like a Jumanji thing where they get sucked into the world.
If there's a Steve, then there's probably a Herobrine too.
Oh fuck! I didn't even know about that, man. Oh shoot! Shut the fuck up! Don't make this movie good. This movie is doomed.
The fuck? Jennifer Coolidge is credited in this?
Ooh.
That's such a... Kay McKinnon's in it.
It's probably going to be her voice.
Another manga ended, I want to highlight, recently. It's also from Shonen Jump, specifically Jump Square, is Twin Star Exorcist. I don't know if you guys heard of this one. It was a monthly manga. I'm pretty far behind, but yeah, it just ended recently. It ran for 11 years, and it's pretty good. It's two main characters. Basically, they were just born under the prophecy that they have to come together so they can defeat these demons and all that. And we get 2 or 3 time skips of their lives, and we just get to see them grow from as kids into adults into the final godlike forms that they have essentially. Fights are great. It was pretty hyped.
So they're not actually twins, are they?
No, they're called Twin Star Exorcists because they're destined to be together. Right, and then eventually they do fall in love with each other and stuff. And
I didn't realize that trope was so popular.
The Exorcist tropes?
No, just the whole where 2 people, destined love interests, come together and they go fight big bad, and along the way they fucking start having touchy feelies towards each other.
Yeah,
that's cool. And I gotta fucking sit down and start writing before my fucking idea gets taken. You said Jump?
Yeah, it's Jump Square. You can read it officially on the app. If you want, but yeah, Twin Star Exorcist. I know it got an anime. I don't think it got that far.
I started the Hero of Ages from Mistborn.
Oh, nice.
A lot of stuff is just me going oh yeah, I remember that. Finishing somebody's sentence because they said it so many fucking times in the past books. It's all coming back to me now. It's a good one. I just want to catch up. Right now, honestly, I'll give it a little bit, but when I started both Mistborn and Wheel of Time, I started choosing favorites, and I like Mistborn a little bit more just because I like the concept of combat in that story is so crazy, dude. There's a lot more substance in the Wheel of Time. I'm going back and forth right now. I'm trying to get a little further in to where the Hero of Ages starts to get peak, and then we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna move along like this, finish a book from Wheel of Time, then move on to the other series. I think there's another series connected to Mistborn, right?
There is. It is called the Stormlight Archive. That's the main thing for Sanderson. All of his books are connected, quote unquote. They're all in the same universe, just different planets or something. And Stormlight's the centerpiece of it, basically.
Are they Valhalla, where they can like see and overlook all of the other worlds and are aware of the other worlds?
That I don't know. I was talking to one of my buddies that read Wheel of Time. We decided we're going to jump into Stormlight since book 5 will be releasing in December. And we were just talking about it real quick because he's already almost done with book 1. And he said apparently one of the spin-off books for the Stormlight Archive, like there's a big payoff in like book 3 or something. I don't think they connect too often. Like there might be mentions of stuff. There could be like, oh yeah, that's from like Mistborn, or that's from, you know, this one side piece he did. There's like the official board game coming out from Kickstarter. Adam said he pitched in and he's grabbing that sucker, so that's gonna be cool.
Oh man, I might be into that.
Yeah, I was looking at it to see how much it was, and there's the base form, which is just Stormlight, and then there's like expansion packs for Mistborn and for like some of his other books.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Sanderson, right?
Yeah,
he's fucking cashing in, bro. That's insane.
He's cashing in so much that he's waiting for them to call him for like TV or movie rights, because he already wrote.
I want to be at that level so bad, dude. That's so crazy.
I think it's the Way of Kings is the first book for Stormlight Archive. He already wrote that as a storyboard or as a screenplay for a movie. Man. Yeah, so if they want to do it, he's like, well, you can see my version right here.
Fucking stood on business, dude.
I gotta finish this book, dude, because I want to be one of the first ones to be like, I get this book, I get the story, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
When
he's him,
on
dude.
TV. Yeah,
yeah. He also streamed Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Yeah, he was playing that.
What a goat! He's a goat.
If you need to encompass all of his books from all the other series, like how much would you think all of those books would be like for your library?
Sanderson's books alone.
Yeah, Mistborn, Stormlight, and the other one. I don't remember.
Mistborn,
Mistborn's just 3, no?
So that's the first trilogy. So after the trilogy was 4 more books. So there's 7 in total, and there's technically an 8th book that I have that you could read after the 3rd one. It's called like The Secrets of Mistborn or something. And from what it sounds like, it's just a lore book. Main title, Stormlight. Yeah, there's number 5's coming out now. He has a bunch of one-offs that he wrote, like Elantris, Warbreaker, and there's like a compilation book of like a sci-fi thing he wrote. So he has a lot under his belt right now. He recently dropped his release schedule for the next 2 years. He's got 12 books coming out from now to 2030. Yeah, so he's just going hard. Like 2029 summer, he has it planned for Elantris 2. And Elantris is essentially one of the first books he wrote. So he's really going into it.
When did the first Elantris come out? We're probably talking about a decade or 2 decades of time in between these books.
2005 is when Elantris came out.
So yeah, like a 14-year book.
24 years.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, 24 years. You know what I mean? So people are going to be looking for that first book. If they don't, well, I'm sure they're going to republish it. You know, they do that kind of stuff all the time. But for people looking for like the original paperback or like the original publishing, you know, like they're going to be on a hunt for all that shit, dude.
He even has like some YA novels that he wrote too.
What is that, YA young adult?
Yeah.
Like, what'll be the difference? Because with this one, what is it, Mistborn YA?
No, YA is more towards like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Aragon.
I guess I gotta read some of those because I don't know the difference between that. I would expect like YA not have like cursing, if not like one page with one word, but there's no real cursing with Mistborn.
Like I've read Percy Jackson like a long time ago, and like they're fun books, you know, and they can get a little serious, but it's mostly like, yeah, I mean Percy's he's a high schooler kind of thing, and
okay.
stuff like that. Yeah,
okay.
like Harry Potter, you know, to school kind of thing. And last thing I got on the list here, I guess there was a recent patch for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I've seen 2 opinions on it so far. People that have been grinding that game hate it. The other side of it is people say this is so wacky, it's really funny. Like every character is just broken now.
That's cool. Now people won't just resort to using Android. Was it 21? 20? Yeah.
I'm just gonna share this clip of this Vegeta quote unquote combo that I saw, and you could just spam it.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, this one's just
Dude,
Vegeta
no
just
way,
spamming the ki
man.
blasts. It's so funny.
This is just this. This would be all of us if we ever could shoot ki blasts. We just think the answer to everything is problems. It's just a barrage of ki blasts.
Oh, don't they do that all
That's
the
so
time in the
good.
show? Isn't that so funny how that's
Yeah.
the very first thing that they do in the show too? And it's always just like,
That's Vegeta's technique fucking combo. That's somebody's comment.
this is a lore accurate combo. Is what this is, dude.
This guy says, "Oh, we're a party game now." Okay.
She's like, and it's still not a TOD combo.
You should just look at the tag for Fighter Z. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, one tweet is like, "This is the worst thing that can happen to a fighting game community. All the hours spent labbing these characters for what? Nothing." And then the next tweet under it says, "I'm having so much fun." LOL.
Yeah. The duality of players.
I'm not a Yamcha main, but spinning is hilarious.
These people, man.
I mean, honestly, that's fine. the game's like pretty much over now. I'm sure like if a Fighters 2 doesn't happen, there's going to be another Hyper Fighter coming out from Arxis. So funny. It reminds me of what happened with what is it called? The My Little Pony fighting game? Them fighting herds.
Oh yeah.
They were working on the last characters for the season pass. They were told to stop working on it, or like something got shut down. I forget what it was. So they just released the characters as are. And the dev said, "Yeah, we're going to drop these characters, but just know they are very broken right now. Have fun."
You gotta love that. You gotta love that. Okay. There's a page that I follow. Been following for quite a while now. I can always rely on them when wake up having a bad morning already. Do my morning doom scroll, and I look and see if milkshake.mp3 posted a good morning message. And some of them look like this. Pretty normal. It's soothing to the soul almost. There's some kind of background music to it. Some of them are like that,
Oh.
Sometimes they post puppies. Sometimes it's like a horse or whatever. And there's like a double entendre with the horse, which is crazy. I'm gonna post another one. Like there's this dog listening to piano, and I'm like, oh, how sweet, today might be a good day. If you look at the comments though, you can probably already tell.
Is that where the gold is?
Sometimes, yeah. Because if you can see, there's a
O block.
there's an underlying tone, right? It's kind of like ominous. Because when it's like something sweet like this, the people who've been there, the OGs, who've been following for the longest, are like, I can't wait for what fucking devastatingly devious post you're gonna post tomorrow.
Diabolically heinous garbage you can just shove down my throat.
Exactly.
Can I just read some of these?
Yeah.
All right, so the first one you shared, right? It's just a guy hanging out in the field with the clouds, right?
Yeah.
Pinned comment: "The horse fart porn is among us."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
I don't trust this at all.
Yeah, man. Sometimes he posts stuff like this, which is pretty good. Just a regular brain rot shit post. Then there's this one. It's like a good, another good morning one. I think that's the gimmick. Like they have their old.
Okay.
They have their Discord. It's just a bunch of like degens inside. Just I don't know. I haven't really looked into the chats yet, but apparently like the whole Discord has a waifu, and I think they have two right now, because it's I don't know what kind of running joke it is. I haven't been in there long enough. For right now, I'm following for the good morning posts. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, this is cool. Interesting stuff.
Very niche community.
Yeah.
I like it. It's supposed to be like this is like that one page with a Blackbeard and Luffy first meeting each other.
Yeah.
And then Blackbeard, like his speech bubble, somebody put, "Why the pit hair?" And then on Luffy's side it says, "Hell yeah, pit hair." So get ready, because I got fucking tons of these pages, dude. Yeah, shout out milkshake.mp3, man. Like, you're the reason I get up every morning.
Yeah, we got an email today. Unversedpodcast@gmail.com, as always. If you have any questions or comments. This one's from the boy Mark. Thank you as always. So he says, "I was reminded about Naruto The Last Movie anniversary coming up, and how much it was a game changer for being the first shonen movie being canon and an epilogue to Naruto, as well as an answer to the big question, how did Naruto and Hinata get together? Joking aside, it did something new with anime movie standards, where it did a time skip and how the main cast are at their peak and how powerful they are. Because the minor issue I have at the end of the manga finale is that I wish I got to see the main characters use like their end tier gear power-ups just one more time. Worst case scenario, you can use My Hero as your answer, but what is a series you wish that had an anime movie epilogue where you can see your cast just being OP or showing their new moves or how life is for them? I want to say, does the final arc of Yu Yu Hakusho count?
I was also thinking Yu Yu Hakusho. But then I think the OVA is after, right?
Well, okay, so the OVA that came out for the anniversary of the anime for Yu Yu Hakusho, that's the final arc of the manga. It never got animated originally. And it's short, and it's just about, like, a new threat shows up, and Yusuke just gets the gang back together for one final fight. And that's kind of, like, really it. And it's cool, and, you know, they get to see Yusuke again, and then I think he dips at the end as usual.
I was gonna say, like, the Fable. See what everybody's doing in their own respective time. Maybe cheating their code a little bit, meeting up, maybe like at a street corner one day, and then just like crossing paths and just leaving or something like that. Something really quick.
I will say, I don't think My Hero is going to count because I don't think the new movie coming out, that's not going to be set after the ending of the manga. We do get something like that with Dragon Ball, right? Like with Battle of Z, we kind of see where everyone's at and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what I would like to see, like, the cast do one final thing. I think for the most part, like, there's just some endings where when it ends, like, that's kind of really it. Like, stuff stops, right? Like with Beelzebub, things stop. So, like, it's not like they got power-ups or anything. Same thing with, like, Medaka Box like, Toriko. Everything just kind of ends.
Cut this next part. I just fucking remember that fucking hentai of Kumagawa with fucking Medaka.
Oh my god. The NTR one?
Yeah.
You say Kumagawa and Medaka?
Yeah, he's the guy who impregnated Medaka and then undid it.
Oh, that's right. That's how it ends. That's right.
Whoa.
Man, I fucking forgot about that.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Keep it in, dude.
Yeah, that guy was a
That's
real sicko.
wild. I need a link to this. You guys are fucking nuts. I'll fucking read the manga just so I could read this after. Oh, man. I would agree with you when it comes to Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that's a good one. I guess I would also say JoJo. Like, there was just, like, certain parts that I feel like I would have loved to have seen, like, I guess one more fight or one more boss and just see how it works out. I'm super crazy about part 4 and part 5. I would have really loved to have seen, like, you know, like a transition where, like, Josuke is, like, you know, like meeting Jolene for the first time, or like little Jolene or whatever, and then like an enemy stand user or whatever. You know, like that would have been cool. Part 5, like obviously we have GRE. Honestly, you know what I would have loved to have seen for part 5? Did you ever read or look into the light novel with Fugo?
No.
Yeah, basically what it was is like Fugo doesn't leave the mafia after Giorno takes over, but Giorno gives him a mission. And he makes him do it by himself for the most part. And he's just like, you need to go assassinate these the guys who were making the drugs. Basically, like the section of the gangsters who were making the drugs that ended up selling to the kids that like started the whole chain of events. Basically, like not really going too much into that plot, but that would have been like a good movie to see. I know that kind of really doesn't have GRE in it, but still, like it's after the series, and we still get to see Fugo, who is like, I guess like in the epilogue, if that makes sense.
I would have liked to see Joseph Stand personified. Like, instead of just the purple thorns, it's just like an actual Stand body behind him.
I just think it's a tough question because this is mainly like for a shonen series, right? Where there's a power scaling and everyone gets new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And usually at the end of the final battles of all these series, we see like everything get dished out. And like I said earlier, like things just kind of end. Like I would love to say Siren and like see like what would happen like when they're adults and them like completely mastering all their abilities.
You just want Siren.
I mean, yes, but the world, like they got the good ending, so they don't really need to master it as much as they would probably have to if they were still in the bad ending kind of thing. So I wouldn't think that like we would ever get like a movie for that and see like the aftermath with it. I would love to see that, but based on how the story is, yeah, there's just no room for that. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, like with Naruto, it's like a different thing because they do grow up and we get to see like Naruto do some different things and stuff. If you don't want to count it, like, but like Boruto, right? The Boruto movie, as well as when Naruto fights Delta in Boruto, like we get to see all like this new stuff he does at his peak as an adult, and that stuff's really cool. But I don't think there's a lot of series out there that can do that, and I would be satisfied with probably.
If I didn't think of like shonen movies, I would like to have seen like some other types of series. Like one thing that I think of when I think of like I wanted a movie for like an ending of a series is like 20th Century Boys. I think like a series like that would have made like a really great like movie towards the end. I remember that you showed me like they had the movies too. And that was cool. That gives me the
live action ones.
Yeah, like that gives me the idea. Shoot, aside from that, there was like I think there were a lot of series back in the day that like could have had some movies. I think at like certain points in the series, probably not like in the end, which kind of goes away from the question. That is, I guess, it's like kind of more segmented towards a specific genre of manga, but. Yeah, 20th Century Boys would be the first thing I can think of. Another thing that I can think of, honestly, what I would really like to see, like, I would most definitely watch, like, an Oyasumi Poon Poon movie. If they ever just, like, made a movie, like, right after. Like, I would watch that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Me too.
I think, like, you know, adult Poon Poon would have had some shit to go through, but I still would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't know, like, some of the big examples I'm thinking of, like, I mean, we're technically seeing it with sequels, right? Like Dragon Ball Super, we're still seeing stuff. Fairy Tail sequels happening. I mean, it would be cool just to see, like, the viral hit crew as adults, like, take on people. Like how in Lookism we always see, like, the pre-generation, first-generation fight. But it would just be more or less just the same kind of fights, right?
I tell you, man, if and when they finally get around to doing the Hell Arc for Bleach, I'm gonna be super excited to see. I'm actually more excited to see Rukia and Renji's kid over Orihime and Ichigo's. Like, I just think that she's probably gonna be like the better one of the two. I don't really give a fuck about.
She's a tsundere tomboy. It's kind of not fair. Thank you for the question, as always. And I think with that, we can go ahead and wrap up here for today. Thank you guys for listening as always. We'll be back next week with another episode. Yeah, every now and then. I know Gerry's streaming on the Twitch channel.
Yeah, we're trying to get it rolling once again.
Yeah, again, unversedpodcast@gmail.com. Unversed Podcast on socials.
Unversed Network on Twitch.
And then again, we'll have links in the description for the page Gerry shared and for the Twitch channel as well. So thank you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.